Now, the Hindu Action Group has condemned the attempt to target the Indian diaspora, or what they say is the targeting of the Indian diaspora. This comes after an caste resolution was passed in Seattle City Council. Now, the resolution seeks to outlaw discrimination based on caste, a division of people based on birth or descent having grown louder among South Asian diaspora communities in the US. Now, the Hindu Action Group has called it an attempt to identify Indians by caste in the US. So essentially what we are given to understand is that the Seattle City Council had added caste to the city's anti-discrimination laws, becoming the first US city to specifically ban caste discrimination. Now, this, of course, is an ordinance which has become a contentious issue, especially among the South Asian diaspora. Supporters argue that Hindu groups, of course, argue that this essentially is an attempt to specifically target the South Asian diaspora. I'm going to go across to Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, who has more details on this. So, Abhishek, what we understand is that various Hindu groups feel that this essentially is maligning of a specific community, in this case, the Hindus.
Well, yes. So we get a big worry from the action group who have come out with this release and are raising objections to is that per se, on the face of it, you don't say anything about caste discrimination in the sense that if it's an issue, and wherever it is, like racism is, the point is,
Abhishek, that's a very poor audio connection we have with you. We can barely hear you. We're going to try and fix that. If we can just patch that audio again with Abhishek. Also joining us on the broadcast is Utsav. He's the executive director of the Hindu Action Group, which is opposed to this legislation. Now, Utsav, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. What is your primary concern with this? We understand that the Hindu group feels, the Hindu Action Group, that's what your organization is called, feels that this is an attempt perhaps to basically malign a specific community?
That's correct, because even though on the surface it looks and it is being presented in the media as if it is against caste-based discrimination, and it, nobody wants to, discriminate on the basis of caste, neither in India nor in America. But the facts, once you go into the layers of what is being done here, what it is essentially doing is it is going to profile people of South Asian origin, especially people of Indian and Hindu origin, on the basis of caste. So essentially tomorrow, if a Satya Nadella becomes the CEO of a big multinational corporation, he has to prove first that he's not a casteist before he is given that job. Now that itself is discrimination, because there are laws in the United States that make sure that nobody is discriminated on any basis, whether it is caste, nationality, or gender. But by actually introducing this specific clause targeting Indian Americans and Hindu Americans, they are introducing a new form of discrimination in the Seattle city. What is even more concerning is who are the people behind it. Because the survey that has been used by Shama Sawant, who is the councillor of Seattle City who brought this resolution, that survey was actually authored by a Pakistani professor whose family is very well connected in the ISI, in the Pakistan Military Intelligence. And she's also very active in the Kashmiri separatist diaspora. So there are things that don't add up, and our press release outlines that. It is also very important for people to understand, because people in India may not understand how things are in America on this issue, that there has been a survey, the neutral survey done by Carnegie Institute for International Peace, Johns Hopkins University and University of Pennsylvania, which has defined that caste is one of the least identifying factors among South Asians in America. Nationality, religion are much bigger factors. So essentially what you see happening here is that caste is being artificially introduced as a factor of identification so that people of Indian and South Asian origin can be divided along those lines, which is very detrimental to our community.